Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of the podcast Chatzzz. And we have a very, very special guest today, second appearance. Dave, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so I think we said, didn't we, the last podcast was probably over a year ago?
Yeah, about a year, at least a year.
And yeah, a lot's changed then, hasn't it, like you say?
Yeah, so we've obviously been busy. I think last time we spoke to you, we'd probably not long moved into this building, but we've firmly got our feet under the table in here now. Still working through jobs. There always seems to be something to do.
Yeah.
We love it. The dogs love it. The customers love it. So the move was definitely the right thing for us.
Mm-hmm. And it's Halloween as well. You can't really see too much of the Halloween decorations, but on the side there and the back is very, very festive.
Cobwebs and bats, and spiders.
And I met a little puppy as well when he came in, his first time as well.
Yeah. So we do the induction sessions, which is the short session to see how they're going to fit in. So that was the little fella's first day. He was coming in, so I was going to meet everyone and see how he likes it.
How old is he then?
He was 18 months.
18 months.
Yeah.
I thought he was younger than that, to be fair.
Yeah, he looks it. He was a bonny lad, wasn't he? I think he just looked a bit younger than he is, but yeah.
I think the most exciting thing to talk about today, isn't it, is the awards, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how did that come about? I obviously kind of know, but how did that come about?
Yeah.
So
the Top Dog Business Awards was born one night while we were sat at the Elite Awards. So that was an event in Carlisle, celebrating Carlisle businesses, run by Lana Brown, Vanessa Brown and Carol Milnes. It was a fantastic night. And whilst we were lucky enough to be in the finals there, I was sitting looking around and thinking, I could do this for dogs. So for dog businesses, and I thought, and I span the idea around, said it to Vicky. Vicky rolled her eyes and you've got enough on your plate kind of thing. But the next morning, once the dust had settled, we kind of talked about it again. And much like when we started the daycare, Vicky kind of went, right, okay, you can do it. And so then I was like, right, need to do a bit of research. And I decided the best way would be to work with somebody that's ran events before, because events isn't my thing, but obviously dogs is. So I spoke to Carol that ran the Elite Awards, and so she's been giving us a bit of guidance and making sure we get it right.
Yeah, nice. What made you want to do that? Because like you say, you're busy enough running this place, aren't you?
I think that's how my head works a little bit, is like, right, I'm busy now, what else can I do to make myself busier? Seems to be how it goes, much to Vicky's annoyance as well. Just when things start to settle, I come up with a brilliant new idea. So with the awards, in the last year, we were lucky enough to be in 3 different awards. So as the daycare, we're members of 2 professional organisations. So a bit like when you've got, if you want a gas fitter, you go to somebody on the gas safe register because you know that they've been checked properly, they've got the qualifications, and they've got all the insurances in place to do what they're supposed to be doing. So we voluntarily are part of 2 organisations, so the Professional Dog Businesses UK and the Pet Industry Federation. So with those 2 organisations, we submit all of our details, all of our licence, insurance, staff qualifications, everything like that. They check it all and decide if we meet the criteria to be on this professional register. So each of those has an awards each year. So the Professional Dog Businesses UK, they do one where people can vote for you. And we won that one last year. So we won Daycare of the Year for the professional dog businesses. And then with the Pet Industry Federation, this is a big national one. It covers the whole pet industry federation. And with that one, we got to the final 6 in the country. So we went down to a big glitzy event down near Coventry. And that was kind of our first taste of the lights, the kind of the glitz, the glamour, and we were like, wow. And it is, we're just a couple from Carlisle, do you know what I mean? And it's kind of, those kind of things seem a far stretch from where we are, because we're just Vicky and Dave. We're not like a big brand or anything like that, but to go and get into the final 6 of something like that meant a lot. So we know how it made us feel being part of that. And then obviously winning the other award as well. And then following on from that, we just entered the Elite Awards in Carlisle. That was for a slightly different award. That one was for a social media award, as you know, because you were in the finals for that one too and won. So we were very happy to be in the final three for that. And what we kind of felt was it can seem quite intimidating for small businesses to enter those kind of things. We were brave, we've entered, and we done well. And what we wanted to do was bring that down a level to make people locally feel a bit more comfortable with it. So, somebody that's maybe doing dog walking goes out, doesn't even see the dog owners sometimes because they've just got a key for the house, go and get the dog, go and walk it, and they just spend all day walking dogs in all weathers, in waterproofs half their life, and we're just like, we want to help them get a taste of what we had with these awards. And they might not want to enter a big national competition, so we're like, right, let's do it for Cumbria. There's nothing else like that locally, so we kind of were inspired by the Elite Awards. We took what we seen there and kind of tailored it more for the people basically working with dogs in Cumbria.
Yeah, I think that's such a great idea and concept, isn't it? Because people like that, like a bit like unsung heroes, isn't it? They're not really bothered about having like a massive business or, like you say, the glitz and the glamour per se, but they still do a great job and they have a massive impact and help a lot of local people as well, don't they? So they make a big difference in the local community because, like you say, some of them just go into people's houses, walk the dogs and just get on with it, and they're not bothered, are they? So giving people a bit of recognition, because I think awards is like that, isn't it? It's like an award is an award at the end of the day, but it's still recognition for all the hard work you put in. Like you say, you're just Vicky and Dave, and you say you don't have a brand, but you do have a brand. But it is just like, because you just think of yourselves as a couple from Carlisle.
Exactly, yeah.
And then you get the national award and you think, but this is impressive. I've been recognised for all the hard work, the behind the scenes stuff that goes on. Well, then, like you've been up since 5 o'clock, people don't see that. They just see you coming into the induction, isn't it? And that kind of thing. So I think doing that for local people in Cumbria is such a great idea. Does anybody else do that nationally at all? Have you seen anybody else? Because I personally haven't.
As far as I know, the two that we're involved with are the only two that I'm aware of anyway. Like I say, the Pet Industry Federation is the one that's kind of the biggest one. It's been running for years, and again, they're a massive organisation. And like I say, we just wanted to do something that felt a bit more accessible, like you say, to maybe the dog walker that goes out in the rain every day, the dog groomer that's picking hair out of their ears for 2 days after they've kind of finished the last dog, and the people that probably feel too busy might even feel like, oh, well, I'm just a small business, a bit like we feel, but like I say, I kind of took us out of our comfort zone, put us into that spotlight, and thankfully, we were recognised as being good enough to kind of be in the finals for 3 and won 1. So, like I say, we just wanted to kind of offer a bit back that to people that, I mean, we do know like of Carlisle businesses, but we don't know a lot of Cumbrian businesses. So not only is it a chance for them to kind of get recognition, get to a big glitzy awards night, throw off the waterproofs and the wellies, get a chance to get a glittery dress on, or a suit, and just kind of have a good night out, forget all the kind of all the mucky parts of your day and your week, and just have a good time. And so you've got that side of it, but also it's about making other businesses aware of other businesses in Cumbria, and just kind of hitting home about the shop local, I suppose, in a way. I mean, you don't really have a lot of choice with certain businesses, but since we've run a business, I'm more aware of local businesses. So, I've got a meeting next week, and my first thought was, oh, go to Starbucks. And I was like, oh no, hold on a minute. There's some good local coffee shops run by local people. And I was like, yeah, and that's how my mind's changed. And it's like, I think a lot more about like shopping local or shopping with smaller companies that are from the area.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to think, isn't it? Because especially if you look at Carlisle High Street now, isn't it? There's so many like empty units and stuff because people are closing down left, right, and centre. Because less people are doing that, just because for various reasons, just because of the brand name, isn't it? And
and you automatically go to, like you say, these big brands, the good brands. They do a lot of good marketing, and the stuff is good. But when you can compare it to the local coffee shops or the local even restaurants that do kind of coffee and snacks through the day, that kind of thing, and it's local people, that's when you you kind of start to think more about it when you've got a business. Before that, you're probably not exposed to how much it means and how much is riding on it.
Yeah.
People's mortgages and things like that.
Oh, massively, yeah. And as well, like you say about Cumbria as well, it's such a big county, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
massive.
there's so many different local businesses that probably you've never heard of
Yeah.
until this awards and that kind of thing. And then hopefully, like, the South Cumbria people will get involved, the
Yeah,
West Cumbria
yeah.
and that kind of thing.
So we started up our Facebook page, Top Dog Business Awards, and that's growing daily with followers. And on there, like you said, companies I've never heard of before, different dog daycares or dog walkers or dog trainers, just like you say, that we're not exposed to because they're not in our smaller area. But that's kind of a little bit of what's exciting about this is hopefully we're going to introduce people. It's kind of like networking as well, because there is quite a good network with, say, dog walkers in Carlisle, for instance. They're not all like, competition and, cat claws at everyone. They help each other out. If one of them goes on holiday, the others kind of pick up sort of some of the work and make sure that the dogs are still getting walked and working together. And it's like, kind of like obviously that in Carlisle, but I think there's much more to be achieved in business, kind of working together with people.
Oh, massively.
So that's kind of another side of it, is we can kind of just build a bigger network of dog businesses and dog professionals in the county.
Yeah, especially for something like this, there's so much collaboration, isn't there? I'd imagine, me not really being in it, but like food, isn't there? Accessories, clothing, pamper stuff, groomers, whatever it is.
Exactly,
so it's like, the bigger the network, then more powerful everything.
And that's it. And I mean, one thing when I set out on the awards, I probably set out quite naively, and probably a little bit selfishly, if I'm honest, where I was like, oh, right, this is going to be my awards. Everyone will come to me. They're all going to enter my competition and everyone's going to sponsor my competition. And then within the first couple of meetings, meeting people, I went, actually, hold on a minute. This is really good opportunity for collaboration. So yes, it's all about dogs, but ultimately it's about business. And with the daycare, because we kind of just turn up here, everyone brings the dogs, and then everyone goes home and we go home, you can kind of get quite insular. I mean, I'm an introvert at heart anyway, so it kind of suited me. So we're kind of like 3 years in, and we've got a very small circle. But then when I was doing the awards, the very nature of the awards means I have to connect with other businesses, other people, and it took me right out of my comfort zone, because I haven't done a lot. I mean, I've worked in corporate world before this existence, and in that I had to meet a lot of people in different meetings, lots of discussions. But when it came down to doing it again for this, I'd got out of it. So it took me a lot longer to kind of, I mean, I still now, if I have to go out and meet people and things, I'm like, meet people, and it's like, so I'm kind of relearning it almost, is kind of getting out there, meeting people and meeting businesses. And like I say, it's about dogs, but the connections aren't limited to dogs, because it's like I've explained to some of the sponsors, we've got our headline sponsor Telford's in Carlisle. They've got the Van Hub, and with the Van Hub, like, how do you relate vans to dogs? How do we connect it? It's like, well, nearly every dog walker's got a van.
Yeah.
You
got a couple out there, haven't you?
Yeah. Daycares, a couple of vans. Vets have got fleets of vans. So it's like, there's lots of connections that you might not have said were obvious to kind of support a dog awards business, but they're all going to need their accounts filed at the end of the year. So then it fits for an accountant to be part of it, because then they can say, oh yes, I can help you. One of our sponsors, Stephanie Collette, she does our websites. So again, she's like, oh, well, I'm helping small businesses. So all of these smallish businesses that could benefit from that kind of thing. And it's introducing them to people that they might, I don't want to go and see a website person because I don't really know what I'm on about. But then when they know there's one that's part of this, they can see the advert, they can go to the website, have a look at it and go, oh, well, Top Dog Day Care are using this person for websites. So there's lots and lots of crossover that you probably wouldn't initially have thought of. So
yeah, and it's so powerful, like network.
Yeah,
it's even like, say, I said the other day, unexpected things. So an example, one of my clients does decking, right? And then one of my mates I worked at the Norflex Hotel and Spa when I was at uni, he does like property now, and the decking client
watched Ricardo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My decking client watched my podcast and was like, oh, can intro me to Ricardo?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, there you go. So it's like, yeah, having that network is such a powerful thing.
Yeah.
And I think, like you say, I learned that from doing this podcast. To start off, it was more like, oh yeah, it's my podcast, that kind of thing. But it's more like, how can I help you shine light on your local business, and then put your word out there, so hopefully more people will see it and then talk about it, and then be like, oh, give me an intro, or I'll enter that, or do this and that kind of thing. And it's just like, being able to have that many connections is such a powerful thing in a good way, not like a selfish way. It's just like you can help so many people, and then I feel like it's good karma, isn't it? So like, if you're a good person and radiate good energy, you'll attract that as well. So yeah, I think it's ideal, like you say, if you're networking with loads of other local businesses and doggy businesses as well, then it's more like, oh, I'm looking for a website, oh, I can use this person, or I'm looking for a van, oh, you can use this person, and they'll go to you, and then it's just like, it builds you up and builds your brand up, and then it's just like a snowball effect, isn't it, really?
And I think as well, because I went to a networking event ran by a friend, Helen from Candy Print UK, and she does all our leaflets and uniform and everything, but she also runs a networking event, and I went to that, and that was so far out of my comfort zone. It's like, chucked in a room with 20 people I don't know, and it was like, well, actually did know one, because Fiona brings her dog Dave the lab, he comes to us, so I had one friendly face, but
that helps.
It was kind of like
just like gravitate towards them.
Exactly. and then kind of start speaking to the people she was speaking to, and but really out of my comfort zone, and then we kind of got sat down, and I was like, all right, there's these people, and then built up, and I was like, all right, I'm comfortable around them now. And then Helen's like, right, we're all moving after the starters, and I'm like, I've just got used to these people. And like you say, but I think with networking, whether it's a special event or whether it is just getting out and speaking to people, I think some people look, oh, networking, I've got to go to another one of them events. If you embrace it, it's so powerful, like you said. If you go in there with like, oh God, another one of these, you're going to get zero out of it. But I put myself in that position, and, it was great. I met some new people, got some new contacts, got some new leads for sponsorship for the awards and things like that. And you don't always have to get leads or anything out of them, but it's just them connections. And then maybe a year down the line, someone go, oh, I need a band for a wedding. You go, I know a guy. I met him at a networking event last year. And it's like, it's just like you say, the power of the network is really, really amazing. And until you try and embrace it, then you don't realise that.
Oh, massively. But I'm going to put it out there, I don't like networking events. Like, I just, this is my personal opinion, obviously everyone's different. I think when I've been in the past, I just think, it's just like, oh yeah, blah, 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 just generic surface level stuff. Whereas my networking is a podcast where I feel like I can have a genuine connection with someone and build like a relationship and a friendship with them and talk about not just work stuff, because at the end of the day, work stuff's boring, isn't it? At the end of the day, you can actually get to know someone for who they are and what makes them tick and that kind of thing. So this is like my choice of networking, the podcast. I feel like...
And it's controlled, it's you and one person, it's not a room full.
It's one-on-one, isn't it? Yeah, and that's what I mean, you can actually form a connection with someone, and then I feel like that's... relationships the most important thing in business, and I've done over 100 episodes now, and I've some been repeated, but I've built solid connections with a lot of people, and it's like I wouldn't have done that if I went to these networking events. And the podcasts are time consuming, but I enjoy them, and also you build that network and relationship and that kind of thing. So that's my choice of networking, but everyone's different, aren't they? Like, some people love doing that stuff. I like doing this.
And you can see at the events, some of them are absolutely great at it and love it.
Right, so we had a little doggy being picked up. So let's talk about the individual categories for the awards then. So how did you pick them, and what are they, and that kind of thing? Because there's quite a few, isn't it?
So
and diverse as well.
And within the dog industry, there is so many kind of little niches. And when I first was just kind of brainstorming, I think I had a list of about 20 different categories. There's so many. And then when I sort of put it into right, this isn't going to be practical to run all of these. So it was a really difficult decision to say, right, I think we picked 9 awards. So we're like, right, so how are we going to pick this? In fact, no, sorry, we picked 8 and we've just added one this week through popular demand. So we're like, right, which ones? So one we've got, so there's an award for the Dog Walker of the Year. Dog Groomer of the Year. You're going to test me now, see if I can remember it well.
Bring on the spot.
So Dog Groomer of the Year, Dog Kennels of the Year, Dog Day Care of the Year, Vets of the Year, we've got Dog Trainer of the Year, and we've just added Dog Friendly Venue of the Year.
Okay. So that'd be like restaurants, cafes, that kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah. That was one, again, through a connection. Somebody had suggested, oh, what about this award?
That's a good idea, yeah. Unexpected, definitely.
And like you say, it's not somebody that kind of works necessarily directly with dogs, but it's somebody that's adapted their business to work with dogs, because it's such a big thing now that people just want to take the dog everywhere with them.
Yeah.
So if you have a look at the website, topdogawards.co.uk, on there, there's all of the awards, and you can enter online as well. So there'll be a few questions about your industry, and then there's a 500-word submission. So that's your chance to really sort of shout about you and why you're the best at what you do. So there's a judging criteria as part of that, so you can read the judging criteria and go, how do I meet that? Write your 500 words. Sounds a lot, but once you start talking about it, because you're so passionate about what you do, you're like, oh, I'll have to knock a few words off this because it's going to go over, kind of thing. And that's the way you kind of enter. It's free to enter. And then, like I say, we've got a team of 5 independent judges from all corners. So we've got the head judge, Hannah Wade. She's a current Crufts judge. So she judges like agility competitions. We've got Naomi Smith, who actually brings a dog to us, but she is really big in business. So she runs a financial company where they look after like insurances and things like that. So whilst it is about dogs, it is about business. So we wanted a good business head on the team to kind of help sort of, right, yes, okay, this is about dogs, you're good with dogs, but how good your business as well. So, and then we've got Sarah Bean, who's the general manager of Eden Animal Rescue. So obviously she's got big experience. I mean, that's a business in itself, it's a charity, and they're caring for all different types of animals all of the time. So again, another good kind of figure in the animal world. Today we've just had confirmation. We've got Faye Nemeth, who runs Faye's Purple Training, and she's massive in the dog world. She runs dog shows, she's training, she's involved in Crufts as well. So we've kind of got a good mixture of people that are to do with dogs and business, and then we've got your good self. So again, obviously you run your own business, and we wanted to kind of focus heavily on the social media side of things, design side of things, and it's like, because it's important that whilst you're good at what you do, that your business is displayed well for the public to kind of find it. And obviously your expertise in social media, it's kind of like you're doing that angle of it for us as well. And like, right, this is a good social media page. They're really engaging, they're offering good value to people. And like I say, we kind of want to build up for the people that are entering a good framework of how you can win. And it's not just like, you've got the most votes or you've got this and that. It's like, right, we've got a team of 5 professionals involved in business and dogs, and they're going to go through your submission with a fine-tooth comb and find really the best we've got in Cumbria. And it's not just going to be kind of like, oh, well, we like them or we don't like them. I'm not involved in the judging whatsoever. That's why I've got a head judge in place, and then all the other judges will report to her. And like I say, it's all going to be transparent, so everyone can be sure that it's all done properly.
You're not going to fix it at all then?
No. And obviously we're not going to be entering, because whilst we do believe we're the best daycare, it wouldn't look great if we won our own awards. So
imagine that. Yeah.
But for us, we're involved in enough other awards that we can kind of get that side of it for ourselves, and this is our chance to kind of give back to everybody else that might be a little bit scared, a little bit nervous to enter these things and go, right, it's in Cumbria, it's not too far, it's only kind of dog companies that are entering, dog businesses, individuals running dog businesses. So it should feel a bit safer, because like you say, when you step outside your comfort zone in business, it is often a big step outside, and we just want to kind of make it a bit easier for everyone and a bit more welcoming.
Yeah, I think it's good that you're facilitating it as well, because like you say, you're bringing everybody together, and then also if people say haven't thought about their businessy side of their business, then they might be thinking, oh, maybe I could do a bit more on social media, or maybe I could focus more on the business if I wanted to grow the business. And then like you say, if there's training judges and various different things, it's a good way to judge it, I think, rather than just being like a popularity contest, which I feel like as some of these awards, it is popularity contest, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think, that's good. And 5 judges is,
Yeah, that should give us a wide range of it. And like I say, I don't think any of the judges know each other. And I don't know. And I don't really know them. So like I say, they're not my friends. The people that I know through someone else, or know of through someone else, heard the credentials and said, they're going to be kind of, they're going to be good for giving us a sort of a fair assessment of the businesses that enter.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to have a look through all the different businesses and that kind of thing. Ones that I'll have never came across before, and just see like where they're all based and what they all do and that kind of thing, and just see, like I say, for me, it'd be most exciting things to see the social media. Like yours, you're really active in yours, and you post a lot of stuff. It'd be interesting to see what other people actually do, and hopefully if
and that's and if nothing else as well. I mean, not everybody's going to get to the final, but I think even for us, when you first start entering awards, that's a learning process. Like, how do you enter? How do you write 500 words about yourself? And it's like, we try to improve that each time we enter an award, and it's like, right, well, how can we sell ourselves? How can we get across the message? Because you forget stuff. I mean, we've entered the Pet Industry Federation one again this year. Again, we're in the finals. So we're at the awards in 2 weeks. 2 weeks yesterday. So we've got that coming up. And again, I'd wrote the submission and I'd sent it, and I was like, right, that's it. I think that was a good one. And I went, I didn't mention we sponsor like the Carlisle City girls football team. I was like, little things like social value and things, and I'm like, forgot about it. And I went, well, it'll be what it'll be. It's like you forget all the things that you do, because you see the strip up there. That's so Carlisle City. It was the first ever girls football team, and we were
seen on the phone actually.
We were lucky enough to get a chance to sponsor them, and they're doing really well this year. This is the second year now. We're helping them out with the costs again, and they're doing really well. So they grew last year. They got a couple of good wins last year, and now they're back at it and they've hit the ground running. So good wins against some big teams as well. So
I think honestly the strip looks really good. One of my friends, he sponsors the first team. Michael Trotter, he does office technology operation.
Yeah, I've seen
so I've been down to a couple of games, not obviously the girls' games, but I used to play for Warwick Wanderers back in the day. Not Carlisle City. Carlisle City was always quite good.
Are you one of these? I had trials for Carlisle, and then
I played them 6 years.
I got a dodgy knee.
I played them 6. I just wasn't good enough to be fair. I didn't enjoy it. But it was good fun while it lasted. But
all works.
A couple of my friends are actually professionals now.
Yeah.
Oh,
good.
Kyle plays for Bolton, and I don't know if Patrick is now. Is it Gillingham or something? He moves around a bit, but it's stuff like that I think, like I say, giving back to the local community is important, isn't it? In whatever way it can be. So like I say, sponsorships or like facilitating awards or raising money for charity and that kind of thing. Cause
as part of the awards as well, so all the profits are going to be going to the Eden Animal Rescue. So I met with Sarah up there and we had a look around their building. They're in the middle of building a new set of kennels, like state-of-the-art kennels, because I think the first building they had wasn't kind of designed for that. So they kind of, they've done well with what they've got, and now they've got this chance to kind of build this, and they're a long way off raising the amount of funds that they need to kind of get it all done and finished. So it seemed a perfect opportunity with the awards being about dog businesses and then being able to support a dog charity. I know they do other animals, but this is specifically the kennels for the dogs, so it fit really well. And like you say, it's so we can help local businesses get a bit of recognition, and we can help a local charity improve what they're doing as well. There's a lot of feel good about it, to be honest.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because entries opened on the 1st of October, didn't they?
Yep. So entries have been open now. We've got a few entries in already.
That's good, yeah.
And like I say, once we've kind of collected those, entries will be closing mid-January. Once that's done, we'll gather them all together, give them out to the judges. You'll be sitting with a pile of paperwork like this to go through. And then get all that done, pick the finalists, and then invite them to the awards. So the kind of only stipulation is that they can come to the awards themselves or send a representative of the business to kind of come and accept the award. And then they'll find that out on the night. So nobody knows until the night. There'll be like 5 finalists for each award.
5 finalists, that's good, really good, isn't it? Yeah.
I think, again, I'm learning as I go, but and we'll probably pick things up that we might change next year, because the plan is it's going to be successful. We're going to do it again next year, bigger and better each time. And I was like, right, I'm going to pick 5 finalists because, I mean, there must be like 20 dog walkers in Carlisle alone. So if you look at the whole county, there could be hundreds that could apply. So to separate them down to 3 would be difficult. 5's going to be bad enough, but to kind of pick sort of 3 anyway. So we kind of got 5 finalists for each award. And so at the moment we've got the 9 awards, and just for the varying different trades to kind of reflect the broader spectrum we could within the industry.
Yeah, I suppose as well, like some of these businesses, they won't have like massive teams and stuff to come down, will they? So
exactly,
it'll be, maybe they'll all be on similar tables and that kind of thing. So if there's only 3, then there'd be less people in attendance. You want as many people there as possible to meet people, network, chat, and connect and that kind of thing. So
and
good.
Like you say, it's what I found is that you do seem to get along better with things when you are connecting with new businesses, new people. And it's like that thing, you're like, oh, I need somebody to do this. And they go, oh, I know a guy. And it's like that kind of thing. Like you say, it's just kind of working with other businesses rather than always fighting them and feeling like the competition. And, we've had a couple of the local dog walkers come just for a nosy, and we've thought, oh, do you want to come in and have a look around? And, so we recommend them if any of our dogs need dog walking. We recommend them. They recommend us for different things. So it's just about, like you say, that working together as an industry rather than everybody against each other.
Yeah, because I think even when like I was starting out, you think like, oh, you don't want other people to have business because there's not like stealing it off you, but there's enough people and business and money and everything around for everybody, and like it's better to work together and go on the up together than try and like knock people down, that I find, isn't it?
Yeah,
definitely. Like I was saying earlier about like karma, if you giving off that and trying to hack people down, it's just a race to the bottom, isn't it? Whereas if you're working together with people, even if they're direct competitors, like like say the dog walkers, same competition, but like when you need them to help out when you're on holiday, you do need them. So it's like actually be nice.
Keeps your customers happy. And, and it's just nicer working in an environment where, I mean, especially for a dog walker that might be working on their own all day, just even passing them in the road and say, oh, there's so and so. It just makes it feel a little bit better, I think, from certain jobs where you might have a little bit of isolation as well.
That's cool. Let's talk a bit about this place then. What's been the update since we last spoke here? I think you got the awards on the wall.
So
the winner certificate.
Yeah, so the finals for the social media award, the winner for the
winner on there. Award. That's good.
Been in the News and Star as well. So it's just, I think, just about keeping ourselves busy. As far as the daycare goes, I think last time we spoke, we were probably up around capacity anyway, and we kind of generally full just about every day. So it's just about keeping that up, not resting on that, because it's easy to say, oh, we're full now, but we still need to show new people around every week. So we show anywhere between sort of 4 and 6 new people around every week, and sometimes there's a bit of a natural cycle with the dog. Sometimes people bring them as puppies because they've got a lot of energy and they don't want to leave them at home all day. So they bring them to us. And then as they get older and a little bit easy to look after, they kind of drop off, maybe do less days, that kind of thing. So we need to keep that kind of new business coming in to kind of keep that cycle going. And then we get some people that come because say they're at work all day, but then they might change jobs and they start working from home. So then that dog will disappear. So there seems to be like a few different cycles, whether it's down to work, whether it's down to how easy the puppy is to look after, how easy the dog is to look after, home circumstances, work circumstances, and we just need to keep kind of new people coming through the door. So social media is important for us for that. That's why we try and keep on top of that as best we can. Again, there's always room to improve with that. We've got some plans how to make it better as well. Again, just through working with people. I was at an event last week run by Matthias Rees, and Ricardo was the sponsor for that as well.
Oh,
so
nice.
that's
Yeah,
BDR
yeah.
Properties. And that was really good. So they had 4 speakers on, and a lot of the talk was about brand and marketing. And again, you just kind of get some ideas, some new buzzwords, and start to think about, all right, actually, yeah, I need to make a push on that. And it's like, I think the buzzword at the minute is added value, isn't it? So that's kind of something we need to kind of start building more into our online stuff, our socials, and just keep growing the business. And you say the more people that hear about us, then the more people that we can get in. And it's like I just read down the list there for you before. When we get new people in, we always ask, how did you hear about us? And recommendations was about 70% of that. So
amazing, yeah.
so that's so important for us that, you know, we're doing a good job for people, and then they're telling somebody else. You know, a lot of the time they go, oh, I bumped into a woman in the park and she said, oh, have you been to Top Dog Doggy Day Care? Oh, no, I've never heard of that. What is it? And then say, oh, and then they get in touch. So like I say, the recommendations is massive. If you go back maybe 2 years, it was probably 60% Facebook because people were just learning about us. But now that's gone up to about 70% recommendations, and it's probably about 50-50 between Google and Facebook as to where people have heard of us. But the recommendations is so strong now, and that's why we need to keep doing a good job. Like you say, you can't get to the point where like, all right, we're at capacity, we're full, let's just sit back and just wait for them to come. It's like you've still got to go out there and you've still got to bring new people in. So
Yeah, it's like I was saying to you before we started, isn't it? Like, even though we do social media, like word of mouth is the most powerful form of marketing, isn't it? Like if you say to your wife or your friends, oh, you need to check out Top Dog, you're more inclined to listen to them than you are if you see a post on social media and that kind of thing. So it's amazing for awareness and that kind of thing, but like you say, if you provide a good product or service, then you're going to tell people about it, isn't it?
And hopefully like people are seeing our Facebook stuff that might not even have a dog yet, and they're just watching it come by, oh, that looks good, that looks nice. And then when they do get one, then they go, oh, what was that place we keep following, Top Dog? And then they kind of have a closer look, and then they say to their friends, oh yeah, we're going to pop down. They go, oh yeah, my friend takes his dog there, and you know, they have a really good time. And so like you say, it's they run side by side. The Facebook's great for awareness, but the word of mouth's what really strengthens it, I think. And I mean, we've had people phone up because we like to show every customer around before they come. So we show them around before they bring the dog, and it's kind of at that point where we want them to see where the dogs are going to be. But some people will phone up and they'll be like, oh, because we only do it on a Monday evening, which is, you know, for logistics, we've got dogs going home other days and things like that. And we do it on a Monday evening, and they go, oh, I can't make Mondays at work. And I'm like, well, it's not compulsory, but we just like to let you have the chance to have a look around. And they go, oh, it doesn't matter. My friend brings the dog here, and they are so fussy about the dog. I know they wouldn't bring them if it wasn't right. So I'm happy to go just on their recommendation. And like you said, that's just, to hear that kind of stuff coming back is really, really good as well.
And like you're saying about social media, just doing video tours, isn't it, of showing people is so good. And as well, I feel like a lot of people try and overcomplicate the marketing. Yeah. So like, what I just say to people now, marketing, all it is repetition. Like you say, anybody can create one good piece of content or bio video. Yeah. But if you only post one video, then nobody's ever going to see you again, isn't it? So if you post every day, every other day, we just say 3 times a week, then you're going to be front or back of mind. So whenever you're ready, so it's going to be saying, oh yeah, I've seen Top Dog, they've got the cute dogs on there. Might even have a dog. But then further down the line, they're like, oh, they post some good collage pictures or whatever. Yeah. I'll go to them, isn't it? Yeah. So it's, all it is just repetition and making sure you're posting consistently and not just saying, oh, I'm going to spend 2 hours creating a cool video and never post again. Like, there's no point in doing that. Just literally, if you're doing it yourself, just take a video of whatever it is you do and post it like every other day. Yeah. It's not hard, you know what I mean?
And see, I think we've got a good variety of kind of posts as well between,
Yeah.
I mean, we always post all the dog birthday posts. Like you say, the one you've seen, the collage, so that's the top poses. So we normally, I mean, we must take thousands of pictures every week. And just going through them and try and pick 9 or even 16, you're like, you know, somebody's always like, oh, why's my dog not
Yeah,
here? It's
I can
kinda like,
imagine that.
so we do them every week, and then at weekend we also do like a big collection of all the photos from the week. So again, it'd be right from Monday to the Friday, and it'll just be a big collection, 70, 80 photos, something like that. And everybody wants to go through to find their dog. So again, you've got that engagement. And then, like you say, we try and share things like, you know, when it's coming up to bonfire night, some tips and advice for how you can improve things. If your dog's going to be a little bit scared of it. Coming up to Christmas, it's like, don't leave chocolates lying around, don't leave dried fruit, Christmas puddings. It's like all of those kind of things. And we're trying, you know, again, that's back to the value. It's like offering advice for free. And we try and do as much of that as we can as well.
I think that's great. That's literally like, say, I'm going to social media mode now, but that's what we do is say, like, we'll break it into pillars and say, one would be like frequently asked questions.
Yeah.
So like, I'd imagine you get the same questions every week, don't you, from the same people?
Yeah.
So just answering them. Tips and tricks, like you say, giving people educational information of how to do the dogs. Another one that would be quite good that you could maybe try out for like celebrity-based content. So if you find celebrities with specific dogs, and if you've got them in, you could say, oh, I don't know, who's a celebrity I can think of? Cristiano Ronaldo's got this dog.
Yeah.
And we've had these kind of dogs in as well. So it's like, even if you're not scrolling, see Cristiano Ronaldo, and then you say, oh, he's got this dog, never knew that. And then you got other dogs and that kind of thing as well. And yeah, just stuff like that.
It's kind of endless, isn't it?
It's so
stuff you can do and the connections you can make, and it's just obviously like me and Vicky work here full time every day.
It's just so cool, because I remember when you first started and you were part time, and then
and then we kind of made the jump, and then like you say now, because we are full time, and then we go home, and then you go home and take your daycare hat off and put your admin hat on, your health and safety
can't
hat
switch off,
you know, and now my awards hat as well. So
I know.
I've got a full collection of hats to wear.
And you got kids as well.
Yeah. So
that's what I mean. I always admire people like yourselves because, like, it's easier for me to have a business because I just have to look after myself, you know what I mean? I can kind of do what I want.
Just about get by with that.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I can just about get up every morning and do whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you got a business, you got a family, you got kids and that kind of thing. And it's just like,
I mean, it's
crazy.
It is hard in one way, but part of the reason why we did start the business was because we needed it to fit better with our family life. So as we mentioned in the last podcast, our son Dylan, he's 12 now. He's got quite severe autism. So most of the time he's all right, but when he's not, he can be quite a handful to look after. So we've kind of got all of that going on. But he went through quite a bad phase where Vicky needed to be off with him. So she had a part-time job at a school, and she needed to be off quite a bit. And it more or less got to the point where they said that didn't fit with her job. So she kind of left by mutual consent before it became a problem. So Vicky more or less lost a job because of that. And it was about 2/3 of the way through that bad phase Dylan went through where I came up with this idea, and Vicky, probably because she knew that it would give us a chance to fit work around life instead of life around work. So that was one of the big pulls. We're chock-a-block busy. We're always doing something. You get home, someone will message, and you know we always like to message back as soon as possible. So it might be a new customer, it might be an existing customer, it might be somebody, oh, have you got space tomorrow? And you just always, you know, I know people say switch off, but when it's your baby, like you can't, because you want to deliver the best service you can. And if that person's messaged about something and you're like, right, I want to get back to them. So, you know, we get home and sometimes we don't even sit down till 9, 9:30. And, you know, there'll be people worse than us, but for us, that's kind of our routine. You sit down and then you're like, oh, and you just put the telly on and you're like,
fall asleep.
and then there'll be another message and you're like, oh, I better get back to that one. And, you know, so, you know, we've got lots to do, but it's worth it for us because it fits so well around our life. Like, so we've got half term next week. And obviously with Dylan, you can't just kind of get anyone to look after him. So grandparents are helping on a couple of days, and the rest of the time, me or Vicky will be at home, and we've got the benefit where we can give the staff some overtime. So that means we can be off then. Whereas if we had a normal job, we'd have to take a week's holiday.
Yeah,
you know, and
that
and
makes a big impact as well, isn't
so
it? Yeah. Especially
so
when you
yes,
get like 3 weeks holiday, whatever. I don't know how much holiday people get these days.
28 days is
28 days,
statutory,
yeah.
but for us, it's like, right, we do that. We're so busy, we're chock-a-block, our heads are melting half the time, but it works for us, and it kind of fits around our life. So yeah.
It's great, like purpose, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
the reason why you're doing it is for your family, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really, which is
Yeah,
quite cool.
ultimately, yeah. And like you say, that's
You make it work. Yeah.
that gives you a bit more jeopardy as well, because you're like, it's got to work, because it's designed to fit around our life. Trying to do something different now, like if we both had to go and get jobs, fitting that around our life would feel more intense than running a business, because like you say, we'd be spending all our holidays on looking after kids in their half terms, and then fitting hours around. So me and Vicky work kind of staggered shifts, so we can kind of work around kids getting home from school, going to school, and it works well for us. But the payoff is, or should I say, the hard work part of it is that we've got to put in so much to make it fit. As you know, business isn't easy at the best of times, and then trying to make business fit around your life, it's kind of a square peg in a round hole most of the time.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I think I say to my girlfriend, it's like, oh yeah, I'm doing this for like future family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like trying to set everything up to how I envision my life and that kind of thing. Whereas say like you've had the job and then you're doing it while you've already got the family, which is crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I say, you make it work and it gives you extra motivation, I'd imagine, to do it, because you're like, if you did have to get jobs, then everything thrown out the window, isn't it? And family's the most important thing for a lot of people. Should be for everyone, really. So yeah, I think it's great what you're doing, and I don't know how you're keeping so busy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
must be tired all the time. You up at 5 o'clock this morning as well.
Yeah, 5 o'clock. Yeah, Dylan.
triple shot of espresso though.
Yeah, Dylan decided 5 o'clock was getting up time today. So he'll be a challenge later on. There'll be. I mean, like just simple things like he pulled the blinds down in the living room, so I had to repair that this week. He was kicking ornaments at the door last night, and it's just the kind of stuff he does, and you just kind of get used to. But there's always something to fix, So like in his bedroom, he'd kicked a hole in his plasterboard wall. So then I was like, right, I'd repaired it, got all sanded it, filled it, painted it, brilliant. Then he's kicked it again and kicked the same bit in. So then I went and got some plywood. So the whole wall is literally plywood now. So he can't kick it in, but he can kick it really hard. So now my picture in my bedroom falls off the wall the other side. And all the bits where the nails are in the plasterboard have all popped off, and it's just like you just get on top of one job and you think, right, I've cracked it, and then they'll throw something else at you. So literally will throw something else at you. So he gets off the bus because he goes to James Rennie School, and he gets off the bus on a night time, and he runs right down the path, and he just overarms his rucksack at me, like face. So you have to kind of keep the door just ajar, so he gets to the step before he's close enough, because otherwise you'll end up with a night bag in your face.
Oh, that's funny. So yeah, let's round things up then. Where can people enter? Why should people enter? Who's it for? I know we spoke about it a lot, but let's round things up.
So the Top Dog Business Awards is for anybody in Cumbria that works with dogs in the categories that we've got. Like we said before, you've got dog walkers, dog groomers, kennels, vets, dog trainers. If you go on the website topdogawards.co.uk, you can have a look on there, and each award is on there. The criteria for each business is on there. Go and have a look. It's free to enter. There's nothing to lose, so it's worth at least having a look. And once you've kind of entered, say, put all your work into your 500-word submission. That's going to be where you're going to score most of your points, and then the judging team, including yourself, are going to have a look through that. And then hopefully you get a good chance of being in the final. which is going to be at the Holston in Carlisle on the 16th of May 2025, and it's going to be a big glitzy black tie do, good chance for everyone to have a good night out, and hopefully get some recognition for the hard work that they've been doing.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see all the entries. I'm excited for the night as well.
And say if you kind of keep an eye on our Facebook page, Top Dog Business Awards, also on there. Like I say, all the updates. So we've got some reveals coming up. So we've got some hosts coming up, legends from within Carlisle that are going to be hosting the event. And like I say, then we've got entertainment to announce, things like that. We've still got sponsors to announce. We've got all the categories to announce separately as well. So yeah, lots coming up. Just keep an eye on our Facebook page, and like I say, if you go to the website, there's an entry on there for free.
Exciting. Right, everyone, if you've been watching on YouTube, make sure to like the video, comment any questions for Dave, make sure to subscribe if you're on Spotify, Apple, make sure to follow the podcast and leave a 5-star review, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.